It is Sunday, January 18th, 2026, and apparently it's Soup Swap Day and Thesaurus Day. So yes, today we're trading broth and also trading words like synergy for please stop. This is KoiCast and I'm Hunter.
I'm Riley. And this episode was cooked up by robots, like fully automated, which means if we randomly start speaking in synonyms, blame Thesaurus Day and the machine overlords.
Also, if we drift into a different storyline mid-sentence, that's not a bit, that's the experiment.
Okay, Hunt, today's main character is GMI Studio. People on X are calling it a pipeline, not a demo for longer-form AI video. 30 seconds up to multi-minute, cinematic vibes, less texture melt, less character drift. It's basically promising the thing creators have been begging for since we all got jump-scared by spaghetti hands last year.
Yeah, the vibe I'm getting is less one prompt, one clip, and more, this is a production environment. Like, it wants to be your actual workflow, not your party trick.
Hold up, though. Everyone's like, pipeline like it's this holy word. What's the first boring, unsexy step that decides if this sticks?
Asset management, 100%. Not the model, not the cinematic preset. It's, where do the characters live? What's the canonical reference? What's approved? If you can't version your character sheet and lock it, you're going to get character drift even if the model is better, because humans will accidentally feed it mixed inputs.
Ugh, you just made video feel like spreadsheets.
It is spreadsheets. Cinema is spreadsheets with lighting.
No. I hate that you're right. So, okay, texture melt and character drift. How do we measure continuity without doing vibes-based judging like, it kinda looks like him?
You need a continuity scorecard that's half machine, half human. Machine side, face similarity across frames, clothing palette consistency, logo integrity, and motion smoothness checks. Human side, does the character feel like the same person emotionally, and does the scene language match the intended style? And you track it per shot, not per final video, because drift happens shot to shot.
So, like, you're building a mini QA process, which sounds slow, but honestly it's faster than exporting 8 versions because the hero's jacket turned into a bathrobe.
Exactly, and if GMI Studio is really leaning into workflow-based production, the killer feature isn't just better generations, it's approvals, shot locking, keeping references sticky, and letting you choose speed versus consistency depending on the shot.
That part is interesting. Like, okay, for a background establishing shot, I'll take speed. For the close-up where the character sells the product, I need consistency or the comments will be like, why did her face change? Is this a multiverse ad?
And that flows into the bigger question. If 30-second to multi-minute AI cinematic generation becomes normal, do brands become mini studios?
I mean, they already are. Every brand thinks it's a Netflix category. The danger is we just flood the internet with more average. Like, congrats, we produced an entire cinematic ad in an hour. But it's still beige soup content.
The ad as the content strategy gets weirder here. Because when production becomes cheap, taste becomes the bottleneck. You can ship 10 variations a day, but if none of them have a point of view, the audience scrolls like it's background noise.
Also, creators aren't dumb. If everyone can make cinematic stops meaning anything. It's like when everyone got the same LUT pack and suddenly every travel video looked like an oat milk commercial.
So the advantage shifts to teams who can run real creative ops, not just prompting, like ideation system, brand voice guardrails, rapid testing, and a feedback loop that learns. That's the pipeline part.
Okay, but let's zoom out because this week is stacked. Black Forest Labs' FLUX klein models are popping up, and people are hyping speed. They're talking about Klein like it's a tiny demon that spits out images instantly.
The interesting bit is it's showing up fast inside third-party apps. That's a distribution tell. The labs are shipping models, but the real adoption happens when some random tool bundles it into a workflow creators already use.
Which should make enterprises a little nervous, right? Because marketing teams are like, oh cool, new model in this app, and legal is like, wait, who is this app? Where are the assets stored? What happens to our prompts?
Yep, convenience is the new shadow IT, and with fast image gen like FLUX Klein, you get a different problem. Infinite variance. At some point, fast iteration turns into creative entropy.
Thank you, because I've been there. You generate 20 options and suddenly none of them feel real because you saw too many. Your brain is like, I no longer know what good is.
The guardrail is constraints. Pick a brief, lock the brand assets, define what you're testing, and cap variant count per concept. Also define a kill rule. If it doesn't beat the control, you move on. Otherwise, you just vibe generate forever.
And the trade-off between the smaller and bigger versions people mention? Like the 4-ish scale versus the 9-ish scale folks are referencing.
Yeah, and to be precise, FLUX klein is showing up in 4B and 9B variants. For marketers, speed wins when you're doing concepting, thumbnails, rough ad comps, or iterating copy plus visual alignment. Quality matters when the image is the product, when text detail matters, or when you're pushing into high scrutiny placements. But the real business outcome isn't looks cooler on AI Twitter. It's, did it reduce cycles? Did it increase click-through? Did it pass brand review?
Speaking of text detail matters, we talked recently about models that don't curse your typography. That's still the thing. If Klein is fast but your headline turns into ancient runes, you're back in Figma doing cleanup anyway.
Totally. Which is fine, by the way. Human in the loop is not a failure, it's the workflow.
Okay, last big story. AI2 dropped OLMo 3. Open model, transparency, reproducibility, open training recipe vibes. People are praising it like it's the responsible adult at the party.
The practical advantage for brands is auditability and control. If you're risk sensitive, you can deploy private, tune carefully, and actually understand what you're working with. And with OLMo 3 specifically, the pitch is that it's not just open weights, it's a much more transparent release with a lot more of the training process available.
But what's the sneaky hidden cost? Because open source people always act like you just download it and suddenly you're Iron Man.
Talent and ops. You need engineers who can deploy and optimize. You need evaluation suites. You need security review. You need monitoring. And you need someone accountable for failures. Open gives you control, but it also hands you the steering wheel and the maintenance manual.
And if your org is pro-AI but not delusional, what's the least glamorous automation to prioritize right now?
Content intake and triage. Seriously, build a system that collects requests, forces a clear brief, attaches brand constraints, pulls the right references, and routes approvals. Automate the boring glue so humans spend time on taste and storytelling.
Mine is asset labeling. I'm sorry, but if your team's final v7.real.psd is the source of truth, you don't need a new model. You need an intervention.
Facts. Also, quick fun aside, Pixverse is doing real-time control during video gen. Like you can tell the character mid-generation to twirl. That's basically live directing.
That's insane for social content. Like, wait, make it funnier. No, more chaotic. No, do the trend. It's giving interactive puppeteering.
And the maze-solving AI experiment going viral? That's the perfect metaphor. AI debugs itself, gets lost, says weird stuff, and then somehow wins. That's creative automation in a nutshell.
Also, apparently ChatGPT is getting sassy again, and kids are making conspiracy theories that children hijacked it, which honestly explains a lot of brand tone lately.
Our assistant has jokes now. Great. Just don't let it write your apology statement.
So to land the plane, GMI Studio feels like a signal that AI video is moving from clips to pipelines. FLUX Klein screams speed, but teams need guardrails or you drown in options. And OLMo 3 is a reminder that open models are about control, but control comes with responsibility and, actual work.
Co-creation, not autopilot. Automate the grind, keep humans on intent and taste.
All right, soup swap day people, go trade your soup. And on Thesaurus Day, trade innovation for we finally fixed character drift, maybe.
Thanks for hanging with us on KoiCast. Subscribe if you want more chaos to clarity on AI workflows.
And check out koi.com/resources for AI news and updates.
Catch you next time.